Hello, now then, welcome back. This is episode 9 of the Ironteeth Experimental 1.0 playthrough on the Oasis map. We are currently not too, well, maybe halfway through a bad tide. And so far, so good. You may be wondering why we're doing this one and not the Folktales one. We were a couple of episodes behind on this one because of the Christmas break and whatnot in the middle of it, so I thought we'd just throw this one out there first. Because, you know, funsies and all that kind of good stuff. So, if we just remind ourselves what we were doing last time, basically we connected up pretty much all of the industry along here, power, etc., joining the grids. And joining the giant circle is the tube ways. We do need to extend this out this way to make this collection a little bit easier, but there's not too much left up here anyway. So we need to go on the hunt for more metal, which is going to be basically coming up to here. But it will be a good place to put pump in for, well, getting rid of all the bad tides water and whatnot from down here. So we still need to build this. It's just not quite as vital as it once was. But we will lay this in, as we got most of it laid in from last time, so it shouldn't take too long to do. As you can see, we're really kicking out the power at this point, so don't think there's too much to worry about with that just yet. However, we will hope and pray that this works beautifully, and it seems to work perfectly fine for what we're going to need. So, we just need to get down here, really, more than anything. So, for all intents and purposes, let's just pretend we know where this thing's going to hit, which will be about there. And we just need to keep building it as we go, really. So, let's just get on with that, shall we? I think that's as high as that needs to be, really. So if we just lay these in and then figure out how we're going to do this little tiny bit in the middle, which is probably just going to be this little guy of two here, so they should be able to build this in pretty quick time. How are they building that? Oh, they can reach from the corner. Well, well. Fair enough. The more you know. I'd like them to do this first, though. Because then they can build all the way through to here. And that should, in theory at least, give them a little bit of extra ability to build it a little tiny bit quicker. So we can just leave them on with that. So we're about to end the bad tide. The water will come back in here. We did also lay in this dynamite here. We've got, well, explosives are a problem, but you know, they should be working on that. There is enough of them, so I'm not done why that's an issue, but 2 hour running. Is it bad water? No. It's probably a holding problem, to be fair, as that seems to be the big problem with pretty much all of this playthrough is capacity for beavers. We did throw in quite a lot of places, and we have got some spare beds, but these guys obviously use these tanks. Now, it may be worth saying goodbye to this baby beaver here and replacing them with a bigger tank. Which should hopefully mean that these guys can now finish that, which it looks like they have. So let's just do a quick kaboom on this. Beautiful. So that will have increased our water surplus quite nicely. We we are going to need to tidy up just a tiny bit, so let's just get them on with that. In fact, we can take those two out, I believe. I didn't mean to yeet those into non-existence. Whoopsie. That's my bad, but we'll take the planks. Not that we need them, but we'll take them. And get rid of all that detritus, and we can blast this down. Like so. And then we can just sort of say, get around to that as and when. There's going to be plenty of extra spare water in there. Cool. Okay, so that is moving at a pace. Good to see. We're probably going to need to tell them to deal with this first. It doesn't seem to be what they want to do, so we will fix that for them. These have still got all the range, that's okay. Okay, right, so one of the things that I do want to do, which was kind of done a while ago, we did tunnel out underneath here, as we was going to put a nice little sneaky bypass in for the bad water here to run this way, to run the power, and it turns out we don't actually need it. Which is, I guess, fine, if not a little annoying. But that was before this thing came in and generated us, you know, 4,000 power. But we do need to cap this, as one of the key things of this playthrough is to also greenify the area just a little bit more. Now that's going to be courtesy of these guys. And I've said in a couple of playthroughs for this one before, this doesn't quite match the version of the map you can play now, because this was started before they changed it. So there's like the tunnel tube things that spits out bad water at certain, you know, when it's a bad tide, that doesn't exist in this version. So some say this is probably a little bit easier, but I disagree. I mean it is easy, I suppose, but we won't go into that detail. So we basically need to figure out how we're going to get power over here. Now with the engines, we can do this pretty easily. Obviously these require water and wood at this point, but if we can get these pumping, the aquifers in here should... they need a couple of engines to power it, but that might be only to kickstart it. So what I think we should do once they've cleared this area is figure out how to make this somewhat clean water coming out of there, and this thing we're just going to cap. We probably could do with maybe looking at that as well. This here, unfortunately, is something that I don't want to cap, because this powers all of this, along with this guy. So while we can close it, I don't really want to. Not yet, anyway. We do need to also put a cap on it if we wanted to. So we will do that, but whether we actually stop it forever is a different question. We also need to look at the mine, which... there's a lot of metal here right now. We have the science for it, so it's not so much of a problem, but we short a fair few sparkly planks for that, so... and that's because our storage is full. So we have gone up another level of here to connect stuff in. However, it's probably going to be a case that we need to go up another level for the sparkly planks. Now, the problem with those is we can only put them in these size storages, which aren't great. So it's kind of like a bit poor for what we kind of need up here. So what would be good to maybe do here? Maybe try and utilise some of the space that we've got. It kind of got wasted due to the corner here. So is there anything we can do here that's going to make it of any benefit to us? Probably not. So I think what we'll do is we'll just sort of say... I'll just cap it off like that. It'll be a bit of a waste, but hopefully. At least we can now get 4 in at this point. So we just need to try and get up here now. I broke my brain trying to figure this out last time, so bear with me on this one, please, my good friends, while I break my brain trying to do this one as well. Should just be a case of being able to do this somewhat like so. But it's the stairs. It's how do we get the stairs up, that's the problem. Is it this way? Probably. Yeah, I think it is, isn't it? So let's just... something along those lines, I think. Is how we will achieve that. So let's get some more sparkly planks for storage. What else are we short on? Metal blocks is a thing too, so let's get those in too. Now you should be able to start filling stuff in there quite quickly. This was turned off. This guy's bored, which is unfortunately something I'm going to have to do. But we do need to greenify this area too as well, so... Have we got anywhere else for the scrap metal to go? Yes, let's empty this. That's an interesting way to go, but there you go. They'll go whichever way they want. So, the plan... with this staying here still, we are going to tidy up this area a little bit. Now, I don't think we need any more power. Could be wrong, but I think we're going to leave that as is. We'll just start to blast out. We have planted 5,000 trees during a single playthrough. That's good to know. And that is now empty. So I do want to green this area, basically. I'll leave the stairs in because why not? But let's be careful about what we're deleting here because otherwise we'll be in trouble. Now, for simplicity's sake, I think what's going to be best for us is to just put in a staircase here. And do that, and then we can just rip this guy out. And then we need to put something here to greenify this. Now, given the size and weird shape of this, I guess, giant elephant ear, maybe, shaped thing, let's just tidy that up. And I think We've not got dirt yet, have we? No, we haven't got dirt. So, what we can do here, though, is... we blast those three. And in fact, maybe also that one. Then we're just going to get some levies and just... might be a bit of a waste, but we'll have to move this path. Unless we come over one. We'll just move the path. Just to stop anyone doing anything really stupid, we'll do that. Not to worry, the ladder will go back into there. So that should allow us to get this built fairly easily. And then we can just get a water dump in and put it here. Now I would like all the beavers to go away, so that we don't get anyone doing anything stupid, like me blowing them up. And that should, while yes it takes up extra room, without the ability to lay dirt in it, it makes more sense to do it that way. We could change it later, that is for sure. We could definitely do that. Pause that for a while. I don't think we need that just yet, but we do need on here our usual good chum of this guy. And seeing as we are going to be using this area to cut down and we can't plant on it, that should give us enough to lay a couple of those in. It should give these guys enough reach to pretty much get everything, which it kind of does. Is it worth? I mean, yes, it's definitely worth, but we'll put another one, I guess down here. Maybe a couple. Let's get them, leave that alone. Good. Okay, so that now is in, so this area is going to get picked clean quite quickly, I think. So we will open this area up once more. And I think there is not enough beavers still. So, to that end, I mean, how far away are these babies? Well, this guy's cooked. He's about a couple of days away. And I think we're going to have to bite the bullet and just lay some more breeding tanks in, to be honest. Put in one more and we'll leave it at that. And we do have 600 beavers, so we probably need a better hospital as well. So instead of just breeding them like flies, let's get them a nice little hospital wing. Is there anywhere we can put that? That's not too in the way. I guess up here somewhere, to be fair. You can never really fit houses on there, so let's put them here. So let's say... and we'll give these guys a little bit of decoration just to, you know, cheer them up. while they're in their hours of need. Yes. As we are kind of lacking on, well, anything really. But they should give them something to keep them happy at least. Something else we can put there. What else can we put there? We'll put that there as well because they will get benefit walking past it as well. So hopefully all those beavers can get themselves sorted. Yes, there is nothing for you to do. Please go away. Let's just get this ground wet, see how much we get. And let's lay in the trees, shall we? So I'm hoping that it all goes green. If it doesn't, then we shall, of course, recalculate. I think that's as far as I'll get. Maybe there, possibly. Yeah, but we'll leave them to it. And that should give us a nice area with which to pretty much deal with any of our tree problems. Now, I don't think we'll have a problem because there's a ton here and they can't cut them down fast enough. So, it's a good position to have a ton of trees should we need it. So the sparkly planks are not picking up as much as I would like. Where are we? And that's because we only have one. Yeah, we should probably put another one in, to be fair. So let's just get that built. We've got pretty much everything for that anyway, so no too concerned with that. Everything else is looking fairly good. Scrap's probably going to be a problem soon, so we need to be at that mine, and we need 300, I think it was. Yes. Gears, we just about okay on. Another nice average well-being of 20, which is, I guess, true, although not quite as much as it was when that probably was triggered. Good, the injuries have gone down. Nothing to do, you say? Well, let's give you anything else to do that isn't here. And that's also no longer needed. So, while we have a 6-day drought, I don't think we're going to get up here and fix all of this, but we can start laying in this, because I would very much like to get the beavers across here. And use our good friend, the safety bridge, to connect all that up. It's a very long way for them to go, but I think they'll be fine with it. Putting this in now is... it's going to take all the gears we have, which is probably not ideal. So we'll leave that alone, I think, for now. And again, over this one, similar theory. Hoping this one will be a bit easier, though, actually, because we should be able to reach from there with that. So let's just connect that up, and that should mean that we can at least stop this from being bad water. Now, if we get this one covered, which I think I am going to lay in, actually, that will then mean that while this won't generate us power anymore, until this is done, we are kind of stuck, which, you know, needs must, I think. So we will kind of leave that as it is. What does it need? Metal gears and dynamite. Okay. Metal gears and dynamite. And gears. And dynamite. And if we get that built first, the haulers can do that job, and in theory, we should be okay. We just need to find out where the 1,000,001 jobs is, which I think is these. There's 8 there. And again, more injured beavers. Are they all in the beds? No? Okay, cool. I mean, not cool, but, you know, they're not in the beds. Let's get rid of that. It's not going to be a problem anymore. Also, wondering if it'd be a good idea to block this from being... Actually, no, it won't matter. It won't matter. Oh, metal, please. I did that for all of them. Yes, good. Great, so leave them to that. That's in place, that'll be fine. I will put it on, but I'm not going to build it yet. Well, I'm very unhappy now. Okay. Fine, I guess. I suppose that that will have to do. No matter. It's a bit of a long journey for him, but I'll just set that low priority. The haulers should be bringing in all the goods, which they are, and that should be receiving... okay, it's got all the dynamite in it already. Never mind. Empty this then. We no longer need that to be full. I'm sure the beavers will be like, what are you doing? But they'll get over it. I guess the blocks is going to be a bit of a problem. Oh no, they should be fine. Get rid. As long as the haulers can keep somewhat ahead of them, we should be okay. That does cut down our power quite significantly, actually, thinking about that. Holding just under. Okay, not too much of a problem, I suppose. It's going to be a case of also getting into here. So, same thing. This one we will build, and this one we will leave open. And because of the amount of power it affords us, so I don't think there's a nice clean path through there. No, there isn't. No matter. Let's just say goodbye to this tree and this tree. And we'll get some ladders in for this. I guess for the sake of it, we'll just do that. It's a bit of a bad idea to do that, but never mind. But that will give us a full-sized, fully working bad water system, no matter what. So that's exactly what we're going to need just to keep the industry flowing, so to speak. I'm hoping to get some more haulers soon. No, they're all disappearing out there too. I guess they're all injured. Fine. Okay, cycle 23. That's over, so everything should start working again anyway. It'd be nice to have this closed up, but sadly, it's not going to be there for us. The sooner that happens, the quicker this would be able to drain. We need to do some shenanigans to get these working without getting the beavers in this dirty, horrible, nasty water. Again, we'll probably just do something like this over the top. Getting power down to it might be interesting, though. Let me know your thoughts on that one, especially in this side. But we'll leave them to it, and they should be making their way over here, which they are not doing. Okay, fine. I think that's just a holding problem, as ever. I think we do need some more in here, to be fair. Can we put in another... no. We can, if we put it there. I'd like to build another one of these above here and just put them right up so we've got 12, I think, all in. Because we're not doing too hot on the water storage front, to be honest, which, if we're going to be having 1,000,001 steam engines to run stuff like this, we're going to need plenty of water capacity. Why are you injured? How many medical beds do I actually have? 7. And I have 700 beavers, so it should work out. I guess we might need to expand the hospital wing just a tiny bit. I mean, that's kicking out enough beavers for us, so that's a bit of a problem. What jobs? Yes, okay, it's probably because they're in here. I guess that means the Badwater Dome is complete. Yes, it is. Alright, so don't bother. Empty all this noise. We don't need any of that. Send that back to the main storage. And we are out of scrap as well, which is interesting because there is still quite a lot to do. And I don't really want to put bio-beavers in it. So I guess that means We might be going to Botland. If I'm honest, that might be the better play. Okay, so if that's the way this is going to go, what do we need for those bots? We need grease and charging stations. Okay. We'd also need power everywhere, which we kind of don't have. Everywhere, anyway. So we need to be strategic about how we place these then. We don't need that doing anymore either. It's a very long way to go for what's up with these guys? Injured, hungry, water. Okay. Right, first things first, let's fix the water problem. Or at least try to, anyway. I guess we can't get more in. Never mind. That'll do. We can build more as needed for that. That's gone now, so let's get that cleared up. We don't need this anymore, so let's get that cleared up. This poor guy's been planting trees forever. That's going to be fine. The network around here, I think, should be able to feed that well enough. Okay, so where do we have power? Where's the best place for bots? Probably here. Alright, let's just... before we get too excited. Beavers aren't... They aren't getting the best benefits they can be getting, so... we obviously can do another... monument, but we do need loads of other stuff. Alright. If we are doing this... we need to do something to keep the beavers amused, occupied, and happy, so... if we were to build another row, they would sit there. We can't put that there because they need to get past the thing, so... let's make it a swimming pool sensational area. Just have someone take out that tree eventually. Delete this tree from existence. And I'll get to that once this thing is done, which... yeah, we'll let them carry on. Or should we? Because we need the water. I think we need the water. Down prioritize that, I think. This should begin up here. This station serves little to no purpose at this point, but it is very well connected with power. So maybe bots would be better off up here. As they would have access to pretty much everything from that bot station there. Okay, I think that will be our play actually, so... First things first, tiny, teeny weeny bit of landscaping. Just to flatten it out. That will take them a while. What's that? Lumberjack flag. Is anything down here for cutting still? Not sure it is. Don't think it's necessarily required, but it'll be fine. The water is going up because we've started to see some of it into there, which is fine. We're getting some of those guys in to haul, which will be fine. But yes, get the water laid in, then yeah, bots come after that. Because if they're up in the mine, we're going to have to sacrifice lots of beavers to do that, which I don't really want to do. So we can get the beavers in doing the dirty work, so to speak, and then get the bots to do the even dirtier work. And that should fix the injury problem, which... I mean, it's holding fairly steady, to be fair, but it's these bad boys down here which we need to very much get away from using bio-beavers for. Okay. If we do get the bots in, that would fix this problem a lot. Because we could just get some weird scaffolding set up to run power in and out of that. Which... connecting it to where is just going to be an engine. Unless we ran the power... We could run the power through the tunnels that we were going to build in the first place. Instead of bringing it out here, though, we just bring it up there, or we just put in some engines and leave them to it. Which I think will be what we do. But we should be able to just sort of say, well, if we build it... like so, we should be able to get this fixed with our good friend just think about this a sec. So if this went here, that went there, everything is buildable, including that off the corner. We don't need that to be that high. But we can say, chuck us an engine in here. And then, how the heck do we get to this side? We have a drought approaching anyways. This is kind of pointless construction because this will not work in a drought, but when it does work, it will work nice enough for us. I think we need one more on that. I kind of want to build this too wide so I can build it and have them connected all, but I don't think that's going to be doable for them. But what we could do... wait a minute. Inspiration has struck me, it's probably very costly, but if we did this and have them build on top, which they're almost certainly going to get stuck. We could make this work. Hold, please, callers. Your call is important to us, and we will be right with you. That was far too high. So we're still in the safety zone, and if we turn this about 90 degrees... Absolutely beautiful. That is exactly what we want. That is exactly what we need, and then we can just sort of say, is it that way, that's that way, and that should hook into this guy quite nicely. So I would like this doing first, just to stop them from being stupid. And this. And I suppose this, and then this, and then this. And then this. And I don't think that it matters what they do. My fear is someone getting stuck in this. Once that is in place, they shouldn't be able to get into it anymore. And I'm hoping they go over the top. They are going to want a path, otherwise they're going to do some weird pathing shenanigans. They will not be able to build that without that. But now they can. Well, yeah, they'll not be able to power that without that. But, friends, once that is done, they should be all gravy. That's gonna need some storage, I think. Logs and water, just as a obtain. Then what else are they doing? All of the shenanigans. That's fine. That's a lot of logs, a lot of planks, but we have the logs and the planks. It's getting ripped out anyway. This should, in theory, be starting to bear fruit They are at the very nice percentages of high 60s. They've not touched that since, which is okay. I'm hoping that the benefit of this gives them something to do for the old well-being. And we do need to concentrate on that. How's metal over here going? Terribly. It consumed as quickly as it's made, which is to be expected, I suppose. But the supply's still okay. Ish. As long as these guys are actually pumping, that's okay. Deeper water, eh? I mean, how deep do you want it to be? That's like 900 feet deep. But whatever. You guys do you, I suppose. If they ain't going to work then, consider this the lowest of hanging fruits. Go do something else. Preferably this, to be honest. But they don't work in the drought anyway, so they're probably going to come up to do this, I think. You could still do that, though. Yeah, I thought that right. I would like the logs to be picked up, though. So, do that first. We could probably benefit from having the extra power, but we're holding fairly steady, and I guess we can get away with saying, where is it? Goodbye to Number Cruncher. That should save us quite a bit of juice. Yeah, good. So this one guy is giving us everything we need out of this. I suppose, while we're here then. Which I know, in hindsight, I should have left in, but never mind. That was before we went on the dream of bots, so you'll have to forgive me on that one. But the holders should be able to deal with bringing those in. And should be fairly well connected enough to make that job a little bit easy for him. Seems like we're keeping on top of the injured beavers at this point, so that's good. I think we can construct a mine if we so wished. 300 logs, 450 gears, yes, and sparkly planks, I think. I'm going to spend the science, I'm going to get it built. We will need some sparkly planks down here as well, just to feed the thing. Now, I suspect the best way to do that's going to be, you guessed it, just putting that there. What was the recipe? The other one is extract. Not sure if we're going to do that, but I suppose if we're going to, we may as well. We'll put it in, and if we don't use it, we don't use it. That should be an obtain. That should be an obtain for sparkly planks. I don't really want to connect it up just yet. We've reached a population of 100 beavers. That's our Chivo for the day. I am going to move that slightly. Again, because I don't want to connect the mine up just yet, I'm going to put it there instead. Thank you. Obtain. We'll sort the holding out eventually. But I think we'll have enough buffer space to make that a non-issue. At least I hope so anyway. Good, they're starting that. This is too far, you say? Let's fix that then. Guess what's not too far? You guessed it. Yeah, that's okay. They're probably going to try and build all that sooner rather than later, which is probably okay. I mean, the space is filling up, so oh, we do have a homeless beaver. Yeah, okay. It's probably then time to put in another barrack. Or maybe it's time for these bad boys here. So that's 16, but it's 3 by 3, but then, yeah, these make the most sense. No. Very tall, though. Right, so where were we? Drought in progress, 1.2 days. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That is now done, so let's say goodbye to this up area. I don't think there's anyone around here, but just in case. Get rid of that, and goodbye to all of that. And empty this. Get that cleared up nicely. And tidy up after themselves because it will go away otherwise. So, we're about to expand into bots big time. And for the sake of the power usage, we could probably just say bring the power out, I guess, here. And yeah, buy me that and buy me that. And I suppose we're going to need a ton of charging, so also buy me that. And not sure we need that just yet, but we'll worry about it later. I'm surprised I haven't got around to killing this tree. Please make it go away. Where were we? Right, so, science. Part factory. So we can squeeze in 3. Now, if I remember my thinking from the last playthrough, I think one bot part factory is enough to make all the limbs. So I think that's enough. I can't remember the exact ratios, to be honest. It's been a while since I tried to put one together. But we will stop that complaining, for one. Water is still not the best, but it's okay. To be fair, if the haulers dealt with them, they'd probably have a better time. It might be... That might be the problem, to be fair, so if we just... use the features, we should now have haulers moving everything, and that should increase the productivity there. Alright, so that's that bit done. The other one was the assembler, which we could just chuck on top, or we could just put at the side. There is no power connection into that, but we could put one in at the side here. Which I think I'll do. I think it's 2. Pause that for now. Let's just leave that as is. And then what do we need for the bits? Planks, metal, and gears. Okay, it's pretty standard, really. With that then, you can be planks, you can be metal, and finally, you can be gears. That should all be obtaining we need to do down here. Alright, so that's that built. We need to store the bits now, don't we? So, not the bits, the rest of it. And I think they're all these guys. Just check. So you should be... chassis... maybe actually. We just... maybe we can be a bit sneaky here, and if we just did a... oops. If we did that, and then stuck them on top... we did that, and where's the storage gone? Limbs, heads, and chassis. And with the path going in across here, should be good enough. Now, yeah, this guy has to go a little bit of a distance to get to it, but I think that's a fairly compact setup, to be fair. We could make it more compact. We could make it more compact if we got rid of that. I probably should return to our regular schedule in a moment, but let's just say we're going to lay 3 in there. It's a little bit too high, but if we did that... and used ye olde stairs, like so. Now that should be fairly compact. Is it enough to power everything? Probably not. I don't think we need 3 of them, but there's a space if we want it. Or if we need another part factory, I suppose. But with that done, we are, in theory, pretty well set. Get someone to come pick that up. Now, they're probably messing around with this, which they very much are. If we have to do that bit first, that'll then get powered. Well, I mean, it won't. Not quite yet, but it will be. I suppose we should get the holders to bring some jazz down here to power that. But now we're looking for scrap. It's going to be close, I think. Seems that they're going to have to come all the way from creation to deal this for us, but hopefully... that should mean we will get clean water coming through at some point. It's going to be a bit nasty for a while, but I don't think that's too much of an issue for us. I don't think we ever blasted these out, did we? No. So all of these can go. So that will provide us with power. If we hook it into this system, it will provide us with a lot of power, which we could do by just hooking it down here through the side into this. And then we'd have our nice perpetual motion machine to keep that alive. But anyway, that was running as nicely as it's going to be. I think for the rest of it, though, it's going to be a case of saying low priority of that. The extra water is nice, the extra power is better, but the power of bots and the mine will be of more benefit to us. Especially as this runs out, as I do not want to be finding another hole in the ground or getting them up to here or anywhere else to get any metal from anywhere else. I mean, there are those places, to be fair, but yeah, it's not our priority at the minute. That probably doesn't need to be worried about just yet. We will consider running power lines in through the back here, down into this. Might make it a bit messy short term, but power will power this and then power everything else, etc, etc. So you do get quite a bit out of it, so once that starts flowing we should be at least somewhat nicer situation. Cool, alright. What are they working on at the minute then? Is it this? The mine still, isn't it? Yes. Probably going to be a case that we have to sacrifice some beavers in the pits to start with, but if we say... make it low hanging fruit for now. From a job perspective, once we have enough bots to power the thing, that's what we'll get them doing. Obviously we're going to have to buy a slot for that. I guess with the power running, what we're actually producing enough. Let's get the number cruncher going because we're going to need to spend a lot of science to make that possible. so that can be doing its thing. This area is going to be pretty manky for a while. It's going to take ages for this to disappear, but with these running, the greenery in the area is looking very nice indeed. There's a decent amount of power coming from those. We are going to see some nastiness for a long time because of this, but again, not too concerned with that. Well, ever really, because we kind of need it. Box gears, treated planks. Yeah, all of those are not these things. Actually, I suppose if we did this, if we did that in the short term, we can fix it later. Gears are going to be a problem. I suppose it's worth doing the usual, get the construction area here. Yeah, but it will mean they can speed up those for us. Just up the priority on that, otherwise they'll never build it. And the haulers should be able to do their thing. Right, water is looking much better. We're starting to fill up the third tank, which is good to see. They haven't even built those yet. Crikey, alright. I do have one annoying thing with this, and that is it's offset. Do I want to rebuild it? Do I want to rebuild it? This will annoy absolutely nobody but me. I appreciate that. Just turn this noise off. Sorry. I am gonna have to rebuild. I mean, it's not like they built it yet, so... So technically, it's not wasted effort just yet. Technically. Anyway, so that's that built. We need to get down again. So it was this downstairs was the bits, if I remember rightly. Oh, no, this was the parts, wasn't it? It was... I believe it was like this. And it was metal. Was it? Metal, planks and gears. Metal, planks. And gears. And then, how do we get them up here in the first place? It was this, I believe. And then on the top here, I think they're all just these. If I remember rightly, it was something along those lines. And then we just needed... and that. And that was the chassis, bit along limbs and heads. And that pleases my brain more. Thank you for coming with me on that journey of insanity. Anywho. So the mine is done, but it's not connected, which is fine for now, because there's still some scrap. These could be changed now. You want to be scrap supply. And you also want to be scrap supply. And you don't need to be anything at all. But it does go to show having the bits nearby, having it build while a pain makes it a little bit easier. Right, so that was a drought approaching, and I think we will wrap this episode up as that rushes into view for us. What have I not set here? Ah, yes. You can be chassis. You can be heads. You can be limbs. And then as they come off the production line, we can now worry about how we charge these guys, which I think will just be a case of how is the best way to charge these guys? I just come away from the creaking things because they're quite annoying. So we just need to charge them. So the best way to do that's probably going to be probably not the way we've done it, to be fair, but never mind. We're going to have to charge them a million places anyway, so I suppose we can just say... it's just have to be a case of doing this... somewhat like so. And if needs be, we can put another set on this side. So that will probably sap a hell of a lot of power, but it's going to be good for what these guys need. So haulers should get those built once they're done. And that's probably going to mean we're going to have to amplify the production on this side, but anyway. With that said, that's now in progress. Bots will be with us very shortly, and then we can hook this up. So I guess the main takeaways from this episode has been getting all of this sorted. We've laid in a lot of the groundwork here for getting the treated planks and this and the mine set up. Once the scrap's gone, we'll turn that on. Hopefully by that point we'll have a few bots, which obviously is getting built here in this very compact little thing here, which pleases me greatly because it's all symmetrical and pretty and nice. I'm getting the nice curly stairs out of it, which, you know, is aesthetically pleasing. We've got a hell of a lot more water storage available to us. I think if we put any more of this in, it probably impact that being more of an issue, and obviously that might drain this area, which would be bad. But we have it more than, you know, 100 beavers, although the well-being is still terrible, so we need to give these guys something to do, especially as the bots quote-unquote take over. But with that said, we probably need to think about where we're getting bad water from, because I'm not actually sure where we're getting bad water from. Oh, down here. That's right. Never mind. Never mind. I remember now. I put this in last episode. And we have also greenified the area. Now, this is going to be a bit disgusting for a long time, but eventually it will fix itself. They'll build this eventually when they've got nothing else to do. Not much we can do, but we could pump it out, to be fair. May not be a bad idea. Just they're not very deep. I don't think they'll go this deep. Let's just have a quick check. They will go down 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could do. We'd have to build some weirder platform just to get them to work, but we'll worry about that next episode. Just to dry it out from badness and get pure, beautiful, crystal clear water in. But yes, other than that, bots will be coming along soon. This is going to cripple a million beavers. I'm aware of that. However, we will need to use the science we're building on this one number cruncher to, in fact, buy our way out of non-broken bio beavers. And hopefully they'll get around to finishing this to give us the extra power, because I bet we're short. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Let's just say this has now become important. But we'll worry about that for the next episode. They will work on this. Our first bot is in production. We could pause this, to be fair, but we need them sooner rather than later, so we'll leave that going. As long as this mine's not turned on, we should be okay. When I can turn it to bots, we'll see how much that costs. I think we should be fine with 14k. But other than that, what else have we done? Oh yes, we've greenified this area, so it's looking good. Obviously, this is mentioned before, so these trees are more of a buffer than anything else. There's no one here cutting. To be fair, I don't think we need this guy in here, because there's nothing to plant, because we're not cutting, so we'll take him out. We've got a nice swimming pool in for them. It works some of the time, most of the time. We could probably do with putting them in here, to be honest, but again, we can look at that next time. There's a few bits more to cap to stop the bad water and get some more good water coming in to greenify a lot of this area. And I think that's everything we've done for this slightly longer episode than normal. What are we, an hour and 20 according to OBS, which is, I guess, actually the same as it normally is. But yes, not sure when the next episode will drop for this, as it is. This episode has been recorded the Sunday before New Year Eve, which is on the Wednesday, so days are a bit weird with work and whatnot, so getting episodes out is a bit interesting at the minute. It's all in flux, but if I get another one out between now and then, I will upload it probably on a weird and wonderful day of the week, but obviously you'll see it if it arrives. If not, it'll be after the new year. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. If you have any comments, as ever, please chuck them down below. Give those a read and respond as I usually do. But other than that, as I said, if you are doing anything for New Year's, hope you have a good time. And I will see you guys on the other side. Take care now. Bye.